Hi, it's Kevin with Space Cadets. I have a quick video here. Got something in the mail recently that I'm looking forward to unboxing. Little device from Ubiquiti that I've wanted to get my hands on. It was in early access for a while, but we're gonna open it up. So here it is, very small little box, a Wifiman Wizard. And I'm gonna switch over here so you guys can see this a little bit more. But really, let me move these items out of the way. I imagine some of you may have seen already video Crosstalk Solutions put out. They did a quick walkthrough of the device. If not, it's a great chance to get a feel for it. And what this is effectively it's a spectrum analyzer, right? So if you are looking to set up your Wi-Fi, your configuration, one of the things you'll hear about a lot, what channel are you going to put it on? For 2.4 gigahertz, you've got channels 1 through 11. When you get up to any of the 5 gigahertz, Wi-Fi, I guess starting with 4, Wi-Fi N, and then going through now 6, the 5.8 gigahertz spectrum range. There's a lot of different channels that you can choose from, and there's different channel widths, and so those all impact how your Wi-Fi performs. One of the challenges is it's hard to know what's going on in the environment around you, especially if you live in a dense urban area, anything like that. You don't necessarily know what is in the air. And if you have an iPhone, which I have an iPhone that exists somewhere, if you have an iPhone, it's particularly difficult because Apple does not actually allow developers to gain access to the raw spectrum information on the iPhone antennas. So I use an iPhone, and it does mean that I need to have specialized tools, or I need to be using my laptop if I want to be able to check what's going on around me. And that's really what this device is for. You can see it's pretty small. It's got a little USB-C port here, a small reset item here, and then the power button. But it's a very tiny little device. It is a MagSafe compatible device, so you can actually put it on the back of your phone and it'll just stay there. Additionally, let's take a look here. Quick little installation guide. You scan that QR code and it'll bring up the quick set, though admittedly Ubiquiti's installation and manual details are very, very light all the time. Quick little keychain ring, because you can actually put this on a keychain, and then if you're going to use that keychain ring, it's this little sleeve that you can put the device in. So you would just take this, slot it in here. I'm presuming, because I've never used this. And if you want, it'll give it a nice little protective cover. It's very small, like frankly smaller than what it may feel like just looking at the overhead shot. A really compact device, which I can definitely get on board with. So now I'm going to see how hard it is to get this thing out of this. All right, getting it back out, not too difficult one way or another. But this is a nice little soft rubber protective case. I do feel like, if you dropped it, right, it would do a pretty good job of protecting it, scratches, things like that. What I'm not certain of, and I'll have to test on in a little bit, is whether or not the MagSafe. I'm presuming the MagSafe doesn't work when you have this case on, though it does feel like there actually might be a magnet in there as well. And then otherwise, the only other thing that you're getting here, USB-C cable, what you would expect. Now that is certainly a nice thing in that USB-C continues to become more and more ubiquitous, and pun pseudo intended, which is really nice to see because it means, hey, you don't need to bring anything proprietary. You just need to be able to have a normal USB-C cable, power adapter, and you can plug this in and get it going. So pretty basic, pretty straightforward, nothing else in the box. And that's kind of the way it should be. You really shouldn't expect too much from this. So we're gonna pull this up. I'm gonna bring up the Wifiman app, and we'll see that now it can identify the device. I'm just going to connect. And immediately it looked like it brought up this additional little item, this scan section of the wizard. Now, I'm gonna go through the update process here, and this will give me, let's see, it's gonna take about 8 minutes. So this is gonna be a little bit for this to fully update. But already in the background, I can see all of my 2.4 and 5 gigahertz spectrum. And kind of nice to see. You can see both if they're Wi-Fi 6 networks. You can tell what network this phone is attached to, which that's my Stinkum. Don't tell anyone about my very creative Wi-Fi name. And I can see all of the other devices in the area. So we'll let this update and we'll go from there. So we're back. We went through a brief firmware update, took around 8 minutes, came at version 1.4, it's now up to version 1.5, and did have a little break in our filming. So we have the little device here. Now, I've got the Wifiman app up. If I switch to scan, it's not connected, but it's just a quick press of the button, and lights coming on, so you can get a sense for how long this takes. Looks like maybe 10 seconds to go boot and actually bring up some of the information. It's going to take a little bit to populate all this. You can see a lot of traffic in the 2.4 gigahertz range. I live in San Francisco. It's a dense urban environment, lots of houses and buildings around here. 5 gigahertz, not surprisingly, a little bit less chaos going on. Maybe a sign that I might want to shift a little bit of where I have, I'm on 157 and 40. Oh, that's not terrible. So quick and easy scan. There's a few extra features that are coming that I think will definitely be helpful. So one, you'll be able to go around and map a floor plan location and save those results so you can keep track of performance over time, which is a nice feature. You should be able to push some of the data and information to your Unifi network application, and then you can also push information from this to the Unifi Design Center. So all of those are good features. Unifi has spoken to adding up as kind of new capabilities on the way. Not certain what the timing of that will be, but nice feature. Now there is one thing that I actually am personally a little bit disappointed, and it may be, fundamentally a gap in terms of the hardware, the antennas that are in here, but given how much equipment they have for UISP, it would have been great to see this device to be able to scan the frequencies that are used for their nano beams, nano stations, those items. Now those are in the 2.4, 5.8 5 gigahertz range, and then there's up to 60 gigahertz devices that they have. But that would be another one to really help out. Troubleshooting for those devices is actually a more complicated process, and it's more critical given that those are kind of generally being used as an equivalent replacement for actually running cable. It would have been really nice to see this actually cover that set of Ubiquiti equipment in addition to just the traditional basic Wi-Fi installations, because a lot of places you might have a mix of doing point-to-point connections between various buildings, and then your internal Wi-Fi networks having a single device that you could take and could help you scan and understand that very quickly and easily when you're doing your installation. That I feel like is a bit of a missed opportunity. Now, you'd say, well, you can't do that with a phone because the phone doesn't actually have antennas for that, but this device could have. And so that is a little bit of a pain point. Frankly, I'll be honest, I have no idea how much additional work or hardware would have been necessary, but it would have been a great feature to see, because I know I would have gotten a lot of use out of that. Now, for a general user, you're not going to need this. You're going to set up your Wi-Fi once. It would be helpful to have the information that this provides, but it doesn't make sense to spend $99 on this. You can get applications for your computer. If someone has an Android phone, there are ways to get that information without spending for this amount of money. Now, if you're going out and you're doing networking work consistently, or let's say you just happen to be the tech guy or gal for your family, and so you're helping to address issues, this is a nice little thing to have. It does make the process of just going and collecting environment information very quick and easy. You're not booting up software, you're not waiting to get something online and having it scan. Frankly, running the scans from the Unifi access points, you effectively shut them down while you're doing it, and it takes a while. This makes it very quick and easy. You can come in, start to get things set up, immediately have a very clean look at what's going on in terms of the RF spectrum, and say, okay, I know where I want to be able to put this. So if you do consistent work in this space, it is valuable. For a regular consumer. You don't need to spend $100 on this. So with that, I'll continue to use it. I was excited. For me, it's going to be a test to see how I feel about it in a year probably, but I think I'm going to get good use from it, just given, I do Wi-Fi and networking and all that kind of stuff. So having this something that I can just attach to my backpack, it's ready to go, USB-C chargeable, really, really easy. I like the fact that it's the MagSafe style as well. It's just a nice setup. So yeah, that's the Wifiman Wizard. If you have questions, something you want to know about it, feel free to shoot me a quick note in the comments. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps. And it takes time and effort to put this stuff together. So really appreciate if you can do that. And I hope you all have an awesome day. And signing off. Thanks.